You.
Yeah.
Namaskaram. So, we are trying to learn the nuances of Kathopanishad. Let me share this. What is Kathopanishad trying to teach us? Or how is it helping us? It would help us free from what has happened or not happened. Usually, these are the two areas we get stuck to. Most of the thoughts that arise in us are from the past, or either from the past or from the future. So it tries to focus our attention beyond ignorance to knowledge. Okay. And therefore, we'll have a blissful existence beyond sorrow and joy. We will be able to cross the dvandvas, the twos. Most of the things, joy and sorrow, all these things happen in twos for us. We will be able to reach a stage which is slightly above initially and later beyond. We have seen the 5 pranas: Udana, Prana, Udana, Prana, Samana. Vyana is which is all around, Apana. So for us to understand these areas, right, when I'm talking about Apana, it caters to the needs of this region, right? The region which is shown here in red. So if we have a problem in one of the organs, though we don't know its name or we cannot identify the organ, it's okay. If the problem lies in this region physically, then we can understand that the problem is with the Apana Vayu, which has to be energized using one of the following mudras, one of the mudras which have been discussed, or by drawing the cosmic energy. There are many more methods of doing it, like the yogasanas. We are not going into that. So these are called the kshetras. See, this region which we were showing here in green, yellow, red, and all, they are mentioned here as kshetras. This is called the Ajna Kshetram, the region. The region around this Ajna is called the Ajna Kshetram, under its command. This region is under the command of the Ajna. Only just see these ones on the left, please. This is called the Vishuddhi Kshetram, the region of the throat chakra. Anahata Kshetram, the region of the command area of the Anahata chakra. When we say chakra, it is the energy center. Some people refer it to as the energy vortex, like energy which is going around in the form of like a whirlpool, right? But it's preferably, it could be called as an energy center. This is the Anahata Kshetram. The Manipura Kshetram, which is around the navel region. Swadhisthana Kshetram, around the Swadhisthana chakra, and Mooladhara Kshetram. So this is the configuration. And as we are, you see, we have gradually shifted our focus from the sense organs to the subtle body. Like, from the gross body, we are learning the inner mechanism of the subtle body. Okay. And when we say chakras or the energy centers, all these are in the prana sharira. The sharira, or the body in which the prana shakti is flowing. A layer. You can consider it as a layer in which the prana sharira is there. Or the vital force expands over the entire body. When we say energy center, the energy is referred to the vital force in the prana sharira. So we have seen that the prana shakti could be increased by drawing energy from the cosmos, which is all around. And we can draw energy from all the 5 elements, or the Panchabhutas as we call them. And here there is a scripture called Keno Upanishad, an Upanishad called Keno Upanishad, which usually that is how we learn, and the questioning must not be in such a way that to test the teacher. Usually it is a dialogue. All the Upanishads, they are explained to us in the form of a dialogue between two characters or two people. And the questioning usually was from the question was from the seeker to the teacher. And the question would never test the teacher, right? Like which is happening now around. You see, many of them, they try to test the person, test the ability of the person, ability of the teacher. Then we will not, the whole knowledge will not flow to us when the questioning is in such a way. But these Upanishads, they're so beautiful that, see, all the questions are here. See, it doesn't touch the teacher in any way. See, the Keno Upanishad, in the Keno Upanishad, the questions run like, see, when we talk about the 5 vayus, pancha pranas, who is doing that? By whom is this being regulated? What is the mechanism that is going on? Whence? How? How is it happening? Why is it happening? And ultimately, you see, from what cause we reach the center point, the point where, which is the cause of all causes. See, the questions are many, but the answer will be one. The answer would be the cause of all causes, the creator of these creations. So these questions would eventually lead us to understand that which is unmanifested, from the manifested, that which we can perceive, to that which is not manifested, the creator of all these creations, the cause of all causes, is where we are trying to reach. The Brahman, Satchidananda Brahman, where the state, when a human being or a being reaches a state of the Brahman, the experiences would be that of the eternal truth. The consciousness is the purest, and the state would be blissful, the ultimate reality. So who is doing all this? See, it points to the Brahman. The Brahman sits in the center. See, in the center, in the heart center, in the form of a Vamana. Vamana here means very small. In the Dashavataras, there is also this Vamana Avatara, where the little boy, the boy is, the Vishnu himself is in the form of a little boy, small, short boy, of very small. It means small, adorable. Who decides all this? Who decides whether to regulate this prana shakti inside? Who decides our life? They say we are destined for a certain number of breaths, and that is why most of the sages, they consciously work on reducing the number of the breaths. They take less number of breaths. Thereby the longevity is increased, or the life of a person is increased. And who is deciding this? The Brahman. The Brahman, who is in the core, decides our life. See, there are 9 randhras, or openings in our body. Navarandhras, they say. See, 2 lower randhras, the excretory and the procreation. And then here we have the mouth, eyes, nostrils, ears. Totally there are 9 randhras. Yesterday, Jasbir ma'am was asking, is it the breath alone? It is the breath, is it? So I didn't have time to focus on that. So here we can consider the breath as a vehicle in which the prana shakti is moving, the life force is moving. See, even when a person is on a ventilator, they're forcefully they're inducing some breaths there, but that doesn't give life to a person. breath should be considered as a vehicle on which the prana shakti rides. Right? It's a medium for the prana shakti. So now the udana vayu, I said, is very important for us. What happens when a person leaves the physical body? Of all these vayus, a part of the prana shakti is limited, right? A part of it goes for digestion on a physical plane, assimilation of ideas on the mental plane. So every process has an implication on the physical level and also on the mental level. So if we have to retain some experience with us, the samana vayu helps. If you want to erase some experiences, the apana vayu helps. So that which helps in excretion will also help us get rid of some thoughts and patterns in our mind, the apana vayu. So each function helps us both physically and mentally as well. So a part of the energy goes for respiration, a circulation, a part for apana, a part for samana, vyana, samana, and we should focus on the prana, the mukhya prana, and udanana, right? So when you have, say, 100 units of prana shakti, a part is used for excretion. Say 30 units is used for apana vayu or apana prana. And say 30 units is used for samana, for all the digestion processes and all. And another 30 is used for circulation. So the remaining 10 units of prana shakti has to be used by the udana and mukhya prana, or the prana. So this udana, it has to function on the remaining 10 units. So this is the best way I could explain to you. So what the sages do is they eat less. So the digestion processes, they don't use much energy. And so the apana also will not use much. The number of breaths they reduce. So they consciously take all these pranas into their control so that udana reserves are built up. So I can say that udana prana is the net energy reserve, or that which is remaining after all the other activities consume their prana shakti. So this udana vayu helps us work with this chakra, with the ajna, the ajna kshetra, between the visuddhi and the ajna. This region, we were calling it as the ajna kshetra. So that is when people will think about wisdom. They will start thinking about the higher knowledge. So it means that the udana vayu is helping us. When I say vayu, it is not air, it is the energy or the prana shakti, which is functioning as udana prana. You see, we work, we function, we play different roles. The same person functions as a mother, functions as a sister, as a daughter. We play different roles, right? So this prana shakti, which is entering us, functions in different ways in this pancha pranas. So it is necessary for us to build up the reserves for udana prana. See, that is the reason why when a person dies, when he leaves the physical body, the udana vayu escapes. It escapes through one of these randhras or openings. When the udana vayu leaves from the lower openings, they mostly signify the animal in us. So the person has left this body with the nature of an animal. So he would take birth as an animal again. So the region from which, or the opening from which the Udana Vayu escapes determines our next births. So we were also discussing that Udana Prana creates a creates a sense of buoyancy in us. The weight of the physical weight acts in a downward direction. The Udana Prana is working in an upward direction. So when this Udana Prana leaves, so only the weight remains, right? There is no counteraction. There is no counteracting force in the upward direction. So only our weight remains. And that is the reason why people become heavy when the prana leaves the body. See, in some cases, they say the person is the brainstem dead. Then the prana and the udana would have escaped, and only some of the little prana shakti as a function of the circulation, digestion, and the lower things is remaining still. So the higher faculties are lost. The prana shakti regulating the higher facilities is gone. But still there is some prana left in terms of the lower functionalities. And that is why they still remain in a certain way. Certain functions still happen. And see, the doctors are the best persons to say how they physically reflect. So again, this is one of my very, very favorite slides, or that is always there in my hat. I have shown this earlier, but sorry for showing it with a Telugu script here. The Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Maripura, and Anahata. And I was also referring to this Kalpavruksham. As we slowly reduce the number of desires consciously, we don't build up, thereby reducing the karma. Even a single desire would be enough for the person to take a second birth, take a birth again. Like we have seen in the story of Jada Bharat. See, this is how it is. See, it's like a bunch of lights. So imagine your prana sharira, the energy body, like a bunch of flowers. Bunch of flowers. See, the Mooladhara chakra has 4 petals. Let me tell you that they are called petals. You might ask me, how to imagine this flower inside? See, the energy blooms like a flower. There is no literal flower inside, but it blooms when the blocks are removed by constant meditation, by constantly being in touch with the divine, and other methods, other techniques explained to us. These bloom like flowers. So this is our energy body. The Mooladhara has 4 petals. The Swadhisthana has 6 petals. The Manipura has 10 petals. The Anahata has 12 petals. Vishuddhi has 16 petals. Ajna has 2 petals. Sahasrara has 1000 petals. It means that as a person is one with the divine consciousness, the energy blooms like a 1000-petaled lotus. So these are the chakras which I was showing you now. And now, a very important understanding I would request you all to focus on. See, I think most of us are born or raised up in India and now in US. I assume that. And see, these are the Sanskrit alphabet. A, I, U, Aru, Alu, Alu is also there. A, I, O, Aha. Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Inya. Cha, Cha, Ja, Jha, Ni. Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na. Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na. Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma. Ya, Ra, La, Va. Shesha, Sa, Ha, Ksha. Just, okay. Yeah. Is it disturbing? Just a moment, please. Just use the. Yeah. Just a moment, please. Sorry for that. So, knowingly or unknowingly, as we talk, we are using all these alphabets, right? And see, the Visuddhi chakra could be activated using these energy syllables. A, I, U, Aru, Alu, I, O, Aha. So to activate the Vishuddhi chakra, we should be visualizing a 12-petaled lotus. And we precede this energy syllable with Om. Om, Om. Om, Om. Each syllable has to be recited 11 times. Right? Om, Om. So this energy syllable is to be preceded by Om. So this is the knowledge we get. If you have a problem in the Vishuddhi chakra, you could energize that energy center using these syllables, which we all know. I assume that we all know the script. And if any of us do not know the script, maybe you can see on the internet and see this syllable equivalent in English. So the Anahata chakra, this is where we are meditating upon, right? Anahata chakra is the 12-petaled lotus. This is where the Angushtamatra Purusha is sitting in the cave of meditation and listening to the chant of the Paramatma. See. Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nya. Cha, Cha, Ja, Jha, Ini. Ta, Tha. You see, it has started with Ka and it has ended with Tha. See, the name of the Upanishad is Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad. Ka, Tha. It starts with Ka and it ends with Tha. Some people say Katha is a story. But here, from the knowledge given by Guru Garu, it starts with Ka and it ends with Tha. And hence the name Katha. Kataka Upanishad or Kathopanishad. Right? See, all this is unknowingly being used by us as we talk. These syllables are inbuilt in the languages we use in India. See, Tha, we have started with Ka and ended with Tha. So, usually this flower, the 12-petal lotus we are talking about is not totally bloomed, it is in a downward direction. So it becomes necessary for us to turn it upward, or when it gets energized, it turns upward and blooms. So for it to bloom, so initially it will be a physical, for us to imagine, you can imagine a flower, physical flower. Internally, You could imagine a 12-petal lotus, right? To help this bloom, we should chant Om, Kam, Om. Om, Kam, Om. Okay. Om, Gam, Om. Each syllable has to be chanted 11 times. 11 times is what Guru Garu has told us. So see here, we are going downward from the Vishuddhi to Anahata. And the alphabetical sequence follows. This is ta, right? And when I say petal, each petal come when the first petal is open, the person becomes blissful. When the second petal opens, come, the person feels peaceful. These qualities are manifested inside us from within. Gum, the person feels harmonious, he feels good. Dham. So all these petals, they mean a particular quality which is triggered from inside. The Manipura, Tatha, we have finished there. In the Anahata, Dadharna, Tatha, Dadhana, Papa. And then Swadhisthana, Babhama, Yara, La. Muladhara, we are going downward. Va, Shesha, Sa. And after finishing the Muladhara, the last one would be the Ajna Chakra. Hum and Ksha. Ha, Ksha. So this is how the alphabet which we, or the syllables which we use in our daily speech are related to the chakra energization. Without knowing, we are energizing our chakras. Yeah. So I will stop here. Before we go further, any short questions, please? We shall continue in the next class.
Good morning. Can I ask a little question? This is Jasbir.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm just trying to compare it with the previous notes, previous learnings from various other texts, though it is a theoretical doubt, because obviously in reality, I really don't know, but theoretically, like when we read the soul's journey, or there it was like once you become a human, in the soul's progression, you do not slip back into any other this thing. Then when I tried to understand the Bhagavad Gita, it says that the last moment when you leave your prana, the way you explained today, depending from which opening it goes, will depend on your, your state, your consciousness, like how high or low it is, and then you're reborn accordingly. So this is a little contradiction which always intrigues me. I always try to, because you mentioned it again today, so it has again come up.
Yes.
Though I generally ignore it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. The thing is, we are trying to evolve. We are trying to take the ladder in an upward direction from an animal nature to a human nature to a divine nature, right? Or beyond. At any point, there is this risk of falling down. And that is the reason why I've shown you that Kalpa Vriksha, right? One desire, one animal desire, any desire would be sufficient to bring you back to any birth. It could be an animal birth also. You see, we have discussed the Jadabharata story. He was thinking of the deer. He was a sage by himself. He took the birth of an animal there. Though the animal had all the qualities of all these qualities which have, and the knowledge he has accumulated over years of penance, even then, he took the body of an animal. It is possible. It is possible. Yes, Namrata. Ma'am, is it okay with you, Jasbir ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Namrata,
Yeah,
yes.
hi. Thank you so much.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask you these syllables, this is Hindi also, right? We use it in Hindi language, it's the same.
Yes,
so
yes,
so
all,
easy, right? Because
yeah,
our
more,
language, when we are speaking, we are actually activating
yes,
by speaking Hindi.
without being conscious of it. Yeah.
Without being
Because,
conscious, yeah.
yeah, most of the Indian languages, not only Indian languages, some of the other languages also, they derive their origin from Sanskrit. And therefore, all these are a part of their script also, and their speech also.
Okay, so when we start the chanting, like you said, do we have to start in a particular order? Like we have to start at a. So we start with a first. Like, so we have to go down that list, right?
Right. Yes, exactly. But now, since the focus of this 40-day focus is on Anahata Chakra, it would
They are
be
going to
okay
do
for
only-
us to do the kata practice. Kat utha. In the
Okay.
Anahata is okay.
Okay, so the recommendation would be 11 times chant
Each.
come
Each.
and then go down the
It-
whole
it-
list 11 times
Yes,
each.
it is not. 1 second. It is Om, Kam, Om. Om, Kam, Om. Om,
Okay.
Kam, Om. 11 times. Om
11
should
times.
precede and also it should follow.
End. Okay.
11 times.
Okay. Okay.
Since we are
And,
focusing in the Anahata Kshetra, we are meditating
Right.
in the Anahata Kshetra, we will practice the Katha.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. That's what I wanted to check. So I'm
Welcome.
going to start that, like,
Welcome.
11
Yeah.
times each one. And actually in Hindi, the dot is an N, no, at the end. No, it is at the end, but this is come, not kan.
Not Ka. Yeah. Om, Kam, Om. For everything, we use that Kam.
M,
Come.
M. It'll be the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
will be
yeah,
M,
yeah,
not N.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Come.
Thank you.
Come.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sir. Over to Parameshwaran, sir, to take it forward. Thank you.
Namaste, everybody. Here to add to her question, Namrata ji, the Sanskrit, the Samskrita Bhasha is a discovered language. And rishis have discovered this from their tapas penance. And root of, that's why mother of all languages we say. And Devanagari, Deva Bhasha, it is not that God is speaking only Sanskrit, no. But our rishis, they all were speaking in Sanskrit, not in English or other languages. So that is why it is famous. And the vibration, see, any mantra, with Om only it vibrates. That is why here also Rajalakshmi Garu was telling each letter Om preceded and followed by Om. So it adds to the power. And Sanskrit and Hindi, there is a subtle difference. You can check slightly. See, Ka, when you write in Hindi and Sanskrit, writing is same, but in pronunciation, there is difference. That's all, slightly. And here, the 50 letters, 52 letters, it is said, the 50 letters comes in this chakras now, as per this. So this is the Matrika, this is our language. And if you see this Vyanjana and Swara, those who know music, of course, I don't know technicalities, Vyanjana and Swara. It's all linked. Ka plus A, Ka plus E, Ka plus O, like that. K, A, K plus R actually. K, A, K, like Ka, Ki, like that only it comes. So everything vibrates. The musicians know the vibration difference. So by whichever chakra you want to activate, use that. So we are not learning alphabets here. Therefore, now, as she said rightly, now we are focusing on Anahata chakra because Katha Upanishad Ka to Tha. So like that we can, whichever we want to activate, yes. But Omkara has to be there for every letter starting till end. Then vibration will be much more. That's why the sages. And if you see also and our Sanskrit language, see in English letters, when you say A, B, C, D, E, yeah. See your movement of tongue and mouth and all that differently. There is no order, but you check Sanskrit. Say It's all start in an orderly way. And see, ka, kha, ga, ga, nga. From where it comes, you see. Then go next, ka, kha, ga, ga, nga. Then cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Then ta, tha, da, dha, na. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Ya, ra, la, wa, sha, sha, sa, ha. You are not touching anywhere like that. There is a specific order from where it comes. That's the beauty of Sanskrit language. It's wonderful. It's a Padada Samskritam. Padada Samskritam, we always sing, learn, sing. So you can speak. There are villages in India. In Karnataka, there is near Shimoga one village. Everyone speaks only Sanskrit. And near Trivandrum, there is one village. Even today, it is continued, the Vyohara language itself. But unfortunately, it's all lost because of the English invasion and all that. But we have to revive. So once you know a little bit, I know a little bit, I am not a Pandit. But see, you can enjoy, then you can enjoy the mantras and all this. And pronunciation is vibration, the right way of pronouncing. Many cannot pronounce the letters ta, tha, and da, da. Similar but different. In English, how do you put? You put mark, dot, and all that. But still, you cannot pronounce like that. You have to listen, and learn. Good. Okay. Anyway, it's interesting, and we have to learn by ourselves much more than we can enjoy. One more point. Yesterday, we were talking about mudra. Here, see, general rule. See, you know 5 elements, so 5 pranas, and how touching. So 5. There are so many other mudras also, and therapeutic mudras, many are there. So, and this timing also, tentatively, the time is mentioned yesterday in that. So it is generally, suppose we have a specific problem. Suppose you have thyroid, for example. Then what chakra mentioned there and what mudra is there, right? But apart from that, for example, there is a shankha mudra, like a shankha, holding like this. This is like a shankha, conch. So like that, there are each ailments you can add. There are so many other mudras. Mudra itself is a vast thing. So plus that also. So generally we can use then timing. Now, for example, this 2-3 mudras you may have to use for specific need. Then timing also matters. Suppose you have high BP, Vyana mudra. 10 minutes not sufficient. 10-15 minutes at a time, like that, 2-3 times, like tablets you are adding. You are add here. 3 times you do it, Vyana mudra. And there are other, and Prana mudra should also be practiced in the end after that. Then it will be multiplying. If you do one alone, you don't have to worry. Because Swayameva Tanamya, prana has that its own. It expands and contracts by itself. The knowledge is within. Intelligence is there. So we don't have to worry, but then only we get quicker benefits. So these are we have to bear in mind. It's not exactly like that, because our energy field is also different according to our evolution. Each chakra size also different. Yours and mine will not be. It is nothing to do with physical size. Even the shortest person will have a biggest chakra. Pranic healing master, those who have learned the pranic healing or one more, several Reiki and all that, Master Chokoksri, from whom we have learned pranic. So chakras are such a vast area to understand. So, but this is sufficient. Instead of knowing many things in theory, practice and see, then we will get the benefit we can experience. So the mudras, general rule again I am telling you, suppose you keep like this, it balances that Vayu. Say this is Vayu element, so Vayu mudra. Now Vayu we don't want more. Vayu balancing happens. So because if Vayu is more in particular area, we get pain. That's fine. Okay. So we have to reduce the Vayu. How to reduce? That's why Vayu mudra is actually like this, keeping under the thumb. Fire, everything go to fire. Fire only will touch the other one. and either increase, balance, or decrease. So each element is balanced just by touching the end tip of the other finger, that element. Okay, this is general. Then if you keep in the bottom, now this is Varunam, water element, little finger. Okay. Now when you keep the fire element, thumb under the little finger, so if you have constipation, you need more of liquid, more water, right? And circulation of blood. So whatever it is, then keep here, mudra. The name of the mudra may change, forget, but basic principle I am telling, easy to remember. If you want that element to increase, yes, water element here. Suppose your urine is not coming, yes, this is the mudra. Of course, there are kidney mudras apart from that, okay, but this is basic. And suppose urination is more or menstruation is more, you have to reduce. So then keep under the fire. Keep the little finger under the thumb, like that. Reverse. And keeping balances like that. Balance, increase, decrease, like that. So this is the basic way you can do mudras. You can make use for the day-to-day life. Therapeutic mudras, as I said also, certain 45 minutes, 50 minutes if you keep only. And suppose you don't get sleep, for example, see, this is a Shunya mudra, we call. This Akasha has to come under the thumb. Then Shunya. Shunya we have used many times recently now, right? So reduce. And Shunya Vayu. Vayu and Akasha you reduce. Then if you use this for meditation, you are definitely going to sleep. So don't use for meditation. If you don't get sleep, yes, you can use. In fact, many people I do while going to bed, I keep like this Shunyavaya mudra and just lie down. In no time I go to sleep. And when I will release, I don't know. It's okay. There is no excess or short. That should have nothing to worry. So without fear, where the mind is, as Tagore sang, okay, without fear, lead me to that. Right. So, okay, let's not delay further. Let us straight away go for. Take 2-3 deep breath and release all the tension, stress. Be happy, be joyful with every exhalation. Let go all the hurdles. Let in God or the cosmic energy and do Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. Starting from left at your own pace, but with total awareness, slowly and deeply, fully inhaling as well as exhaling, holding comfortable level. Start from Ida. Let's go to our inner temple, Deha, Devalaya, Chittampalam, following the guidelines. OMkaram Bindu Samyuktam, Nityam Gayanti Yogina, Kamadam, Mokshadam, Cheva, OMkara.
Om. 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 Om